Today we are going to be working on lesson 14.6, which says use attributes to define three-dimensional shapes. So 3D shapes. The shapes we were working with prior were 2D shapes. They were flat. We're going to be working with 3D shapes now. So it says, can you find objects in your classroom that are shaped like the objects below? Write the name of each object you find. So instead of using the classroom, because we are all at home right now, I figured we would do stuff at home. So let's look at a cube. What do we have at home that is the shape of a cube? So some of you may have a tissue box that's the same shape of the cube, or maybe an ice cube. I'm going to write an ice cube. Ice cube. And then you could draw like a little picture on the side. I'm just going to draw a little ice cube, and I'm going to draw it like melting with like, the water around it and stuff like that. A sphere. So a sphere is kind of like a ball. So we could use a ball. And if you want to draw like a little baseball or a soccer ball, you could do that as well. A cone. So that can be many different things that you have at home. I'm thinking about maybe like an ice cream cone. Ooh. Now I want some ice cream. I'm going to draw a little ice cream, and then I'm going to point to the cone. Ice cream cone. A rectangular prism. Rectangular prism at home. That could be like, that could also be a tissue box. That could be a toolkit that your parents might have. I'm going to use tissue box. I'm going to draw a little tissue box. I'm going to draw the little thing and then the little tissue coming out of it. And then a cylinder. A lot of your parents probably have this recently, the Clorox wipes that we have, or a soup can. I'm going to draw a can of soup, or a soda can, soup. So we are going to turn to the next page. We have three-dimensional shapes can be grouped up in different ways. We have a sphere, a cone, a rectangular prism, a cube, and a cylinder. The flat surface of each of these shapes is a circle. So take a look. The flat surface of a cylinder is a circle. The flat surface of a cone is a circle. A cylinder has two flat surfaces, one on each side. A cone only has one, because on the other side, as you can see, it comes to a point. These shapes have edges and vertices. Their flat surfaces are called faces. So the flat surfaces are called faces. The faces of the cube and the rectangular prism are all rectangles. So take a look. The faces of the cube and the rectangular prism are all rectangles. Do you see the faces? They are all rectangles. This one's a cube and this one's a rectangular prism. A sphere is a 3D shape that has no flat surfaces and no edges and no vertices. Do 3D shapes always have either faces, flat surfaces, or vertices? No. We just read it before. A sphere is a 3D shape. It does not have, have face. It does not have a face, flat surface, or a vertice. Let's take a look at number 1. It says, write how many faces or flat surfaces and vertices each 3D shape has. Now, remember, when you're doing this, you have to be careful because it's not showing all of the flat surfaces. So it's best if you have an object near you that is like this shape. So here we have a rectangular prism. It says the number of faces or flat surfaces. It has 1, 2, 3 shown, but remember this is a 3D object. So you have to think about the other side. So the other side would have 4, 5, and 6. 6 faces and flat surfaces. How many vertices? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now remember, this is a 3D object, so we have to think about the other side that we cannot see. 8. Number of edges. These are the edges, these lines. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we have to remember the other side. 10, 11, 12. That is what the rectangular prism would look like if it was see-through. We have 12. Number of faces or flat surfaces. Well, let's take a look at the cone. We have it up here as well. How many flat surfaces does it have? It only has 1 flat surface. How many vertices? 1. And how many edges? Take a look. Are these are not really edges, because if you were to place a cone on its side, it would roll around. So it has no edges. On your own, you guys are going to continue with 779. $780. And for homework, you guys are going to do 781 along with 782.